Alright, people. How's everybody doing? This is my first time doing a video. So if you got any comments, whether they're good or bad, you don't like it, you like it, anything that you have to offer, any criticism, I'm completely open to it. Whole concept is just trying to consolidate the information for people on these game slates who may be too busy to be able to do the research and really put together a lineup that's going to bring profits. So with that being said, we can get right into it. We're going to keep it short and sweet. I'm sure everybody enjoyed the different all-star game that we just witnessed. But we got a 2-game slate coming up. I got a sample lineup in the background. I'm going to break down some stuff and put some of my thoughts and opinions out there, and we'll go from there. The 2-game slates are tough. I highly recommend on those 2-game slates, max enter on the GPPs. You don't have to max enter on the big one. You know, they got 5-cent contests now, 25-cent contests, depending on what your bankroll is. But that's probably going to be your best bet. It's probably going to be a lot of ties. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to have the same lineup. So, you know, the last thing you want to do is get in that big GPP and tie with thousands of people, and you really don't get to see that first prize money. So I recommend, if depending on the state you're in, you can possibly, you know, get into some parlays, do some betting, look at the odds, overs, unders, totals, things of that nature. If not, probably do not spend a lot of money on these slates. Make sure you're managing that bankroll. You know, got a couple different approaches I sometimes take. Sometimes I'll do straight cash plays. You know, whatever the chalk is, that's what I'll play. Sometimes that works out. I say more times than not. But you're going to have to look for some picks that's a little uncomfortable when you're putting that lineup together if you really want to get to the top. And you're definitely going to want to leave some salary on the table. At least a few hundred, you know, maybe even 1,000 or so. But let's get right into it. First game, we got Washington and Memphis. Coming back, injuries there. We know Thomas Bryant is still out. Ish Smith is still out. On the Memphis side, we got Grayson Allen and Jaren Jackson that's out. And things to keep in mind, man. Washington is playing some good basketball now. Last 10 games, they're 7-3. I don't know what it is, but Bill and Westbrook, they're getting things together. I think the team is getting healthy. So, like I said, 7-3 in the last 10 games, and they beat some decent teams through that stretch. Memphis, on the other hand, right at 500, 5-5 the last 10 games. For me, if we start at the point guard position in this game, really my only interest is Russ and Ja. Tyus is not really in play for me. Nato, you could throw him out there. You know, it's not horrible. But all the usage on this team goes to Westbrook and Bill. There are times that I like to actually play them together because it's different. But this slate, believe Westbrook is the cheaper of the two, and I like Westbrook position. Westbrook has been playing some good basketball. He's looking like that old Westbrook that was breaking the records. You see 65 against the Clippers. Just played these guys a little bit ago. Put up a 53.7, played 35 minutes. The minutes are there. The aggressiveness is there. We seeing triple-double Westbrook come back out. And over to Ja. Ja, for me, he wasn't looking like the old Ja when he first came back from that injury. But you start to see the scores pick up. And Ja's playing the big minutes again. He's aggressive. He's finding his rhythm as far as scoring. And I like Ja and Westbrook's upside here. I would say don't ever overthink this. They both got two good matchups. Up-tempo game. Washington doesn't really play a lot of defense. The young bull Ja is going to be trying to go at Westbrook, and we all know Brody. He's not having that, so he's going to give it right back to him. So for me, I would keep it simple there. Westbrook and Ja, and leave it alone as far as this Washington and Memphis game. And keep in mind, what you see is just a sample build. It's obviously going to change. It's just something that I threw together really quick. I'm going to dive into the research a little bit more. Check injury news as we get it tomorrow and Wednesday leading up to the games. But let's move on to the shooting guard position. Like I said, Bradley Beal is a little bit more expensive than I'm willing to pay. If you want to pay that price tag, I have no problem with it. It's Bradley Beal. Nobody's going to be able to stop him on that Memphis team. And I just do not think it's a slate where you have to play both of them. For me, I like the prices of De'Anthony Melton and Dillon Brooks. Melton, minutes a little down that last game in Milwaukee. Not the best matchup for him, having to match up against Chris Middleton, who's a pretty good defender. Switches out there on the wings with DiVincenzo, Giannis, and Chris Middleton. That's a pretty tough matchup for him. But you can see in 26 minutes against Washington, he put up a 38.3. He's getting decent minutes. Nice price tag based on the matchup. I like the matchup. I think you can have Melton out there and he can match up against the Westbrooks and the Bills, so he can see more time on the floor. And Dillon Brooks finally starting to get a rhythm again. For a while, Dillon Brooks was not looking all that good, as you can see if you scroll back. But as of recent, you see the minutes are there. The last 2 games, had a big game against Milwaukee, and against Washington just a little while ago, he put up a 31.6. So on a slate like this with a price tag of 5.6, I don't mind it. The shift over to small forward, yeah, you could throw some flyers out there for the people, the John Concords and the Desmond Bains. Desmond Bain is minimum price. If you wanted to take a shot on that for a little salary relief, I got no problem with that. You may end up having to do that if you want to cram in some high-priced guys. I would look to maybe Bain for a little bit of relief. But other than that, nothing on the Washington side or the Memphis side of shooting guard. Also, I don't know if I said this earlier, but as far as the Washington team goes, for me, it's typically going to be Westbrook and or Beal. They get all the usage. Rui's out there for a ton of time. Doesn't really produce that much, as you can see. And like I said, they just get all of the usage. So if I'm targeting that team, that's the way I'm going to go. Nothing really stands out to me at small forward in this game. Kyle Anderson, a little bit overpriced for me. The minutes were really high when Ja was out because he was able to kind of showcase his point guard skills, handle the ball a little bit more. But the minutes are just a little inconsistent for me. I like Kyle Anderson. Slow-mo is not a bad player. But right now, 6,500, I don't know if I really can get there on this slate. Don't have a problem if you want to cram in Justice Winslow. He's getting a few minutes out there. But at 4,800, I really don't know if I can get there. Him or Denny, Garrison Matthews. Maybe if we get some news that Garrison Matthews gets a spot start or something, maybe he becomes a little bit more interesting. But if you just look at the minutes and the points that this guy's really been putting up, really inconsistent. So for me, as small forward, these guys down here aren't getting any run unless we get some injury news. So as far as small forward goes, I really don't like too much in this game. But like I said, if you want to take a flyer on Rui at that 5,000 price, I'm not mad at it. In this matchup, he will see the minutes, so you never know. You do have to be out on the court to produce, so I don't have a problem with that. All right, moving on to power forward. Brandon Clark, a little bit overpriced for me now at 6,200. I'm not really seeing the upside. The minutes are a little bit all over the place. Sometimes he gets the run, sometimes he doesn't. If you do plug him in, I do not think he's going to kill you. I don't think he'll kill you at 6,200. I just don't really see the upside there. Moving along a little bit. Bertans, I guess I don't have an issue with it at 5'2". He's seeing the minutes. If he gets hot behind that three-point line and maybe gets a few peripherals, a block, a steal, a rebound, assist, or something like that, he could fall into a pretty decent game. But otherwise, between Bertans and maybe Mo Wagner, like I said, the guys are cheap, just inconsistent. If I was going to take a flyer on anybody, it would probably be Bertans. Moving on to center. Joe Val is the top dog on the slate at the center spot. And he is just, the coach over there for the center position, man, he's really starting to remind me of Pop. With the Spurs, you never really know what's going to happen. You never really know what Pop is going to do. And I'm starting to feel the same way about the center position for Memphis. You see in 28 minutes, he put up a 32. Now imagine if they gave him 34 minutes or 35 minutes, he could really fall into a good game because the matchup is there. It's just you never know if he's going to get the minutes. The minutes are kind of all over the place, mostly mid to high 20s. But he's got some games in here, 20 minutes against Philly, against Embiid. Why isn't he on the floor? Biggs against Brooklyn down here, 13 minutes. I can't myself predict when he's going to get the minutes. So for me, it's a pass on Joe. Alex Len and Robin Lopez are kind of in the same boat. It's really a toss-up between the two. These guys are pretty much splitting minutes. So you just got to hope maybe one gets hot. I think Lopez gets the bulk of the minutes and he's cheaper, so that's a plus. I've already got him plugged in on this slate. The center is a really weak position. And if you're not going to pay up for like a Joval or a Jakob Poeltl, I just don't see it. Okay, we're going to work backwards from here. Moving along to the Spurs and Dallas game. We got Luka, who's a game time decision, but I really don't foresee any issues. I think he'll be fine. Vassell is out. And then on the Spurs side, you got Derek White. Game time decision. I believe it's COVID related. Rudy and LA. Spurs are 6-4 in their last 10. Mavs are 8-2 in their last 10. So we know who's playing the better basketball right now. But that does not mean there's not any value over there on that Spurs side. So like I said, we're going to work backwards. Jakob Poeltl, I've had him in some of my winning lineups as of recent. But he's just getting a little bit too expensive for me. I was getting him when he was like barely at 6,000 and when he was in the 5s. The minutes are there, but again, Popovich, you really don't know what he's going to do. He may go small some nights and put Trey Lyles at that center position. So for me, I don't have a problem if you like Jakob. You know, it is a good matchup going up against Washington. But for me, just not being sure of what they're going to roll out from night to night, it's a pass for me. And Willie Cauley-Stein, Boban, Dwight Powell, Eubanks, these guys really aren't in play for me. At the power forward spot, Porzingis is sitting at the top, 8,300. He's been okay. As you can see, if he was 8,300 his last 3 games, he would not have got you value. He wouldn't have killed you, but he wouldn't have got you value. For me, I'm just not seeing the Porzingis of old just yet. He's definitely in play on a small slate like this. Really, anything goes. But for me, he's not in play. But I really like the minutes and the production from Maxi Kleber and Trey Lyles with their price tag. It's not a bad matchup. The Spurs really aren't that great against bigs down low. And like I said, Trey Lyles and Maxi have been getting some decent minutes for that price. And they've been doing okay. James Johnson, another one who's pretty inconsistent. If he's out there, I like him. The guy's a dog. He does everything. He gets the rebounds, the assists, the blocks, the steals. But he's not out there. So I'm pretty sure as long as Porzingis is healthy, Maxey is healthy, you probably won't see a lot of James Johnson. But on a slate like this, like I said, you do have to get creative. So at 4,200, if he does get time, he could fall into a pretty decent game. At small forward, you got Luka. You really don't have to say much about Luka. He does it all. He's always in play. He's matchup proof as far as I'm concerned. And Luka is Luka. You looking through his game log. Luka is gonna do Luka things on the basketball court. So at 11,000, it's up there, but he's one of the best in the league as far as his production. So I'm not mad at it at all. I've actually got him plugged in. Kelton Johnson, that's another one who was playing really well until he had to deal with the COVID stuff, and now the minutes really aren't there. DeRozan's healthy. Dejante is getting more minutes now. 5,800, a little much for what we've been seeing out of Kelton Johnson. So I'm going to just kind of sit on this one and wait until the minutes come back, and maybe he gets a little bit more usage on the court. For me, it's a pass. But moving down, Jay Rich, finally starting to play some good basketball. Not a bad price at 5'4". The minutes are going to be there. Most nights he's going to get mid-20s to mid-30s on a night-to-night basis. They like him. They depend on his defense, his switching ability. He can handle the ball. I like Jay Rich in this matchup for sure at 5'4". What else we got out here? Rudy Gay, like I said, dealing with the COVID issues. Tyler Bay and Jop are not in play for me at all. Dorian Finney-Smith, 4,600. He's going to see the minutes. Definitely going to see the minutes, but not really producing that much now that, Porzingis is back. Luka's healthy. Brunson has been playing good basketball. And Tim Hardaway, Jay, like I said, these guys, they're more offensive. Dorian Finney-Smith is really out here for defensive purposes. So if you want to have a sweat, hoping that he's getting rebounds, blocks, and steals, he's going to see the minutes. Just for me, I'm not really interested in Dorian Finney-Smith. Moving along to shooting guard, DeMar. I'm sending our condolences to DeMar DeRozan. He just recently lost his father, I believe. Again, if we knew on a night-to-night basis what Popovich was going to roll out in the minutes, DeMar DeRozan is a great play. I don't mind the price at $8,600. He's got crazy upside, as you see, at 54 in the last 4. It's not a bad matchup, but for me, it's a pass for DeMar DeRozan too. Lonnie Walker. Seems like Pop does like Lonnie Walker. The minutes are there. Sorry about that. Minutes are there with Lonnie Walker. He's definitely one of Pop's go-to guys. I just don't know if I'm going to get there at 5-4 on a night like this. But all these guys, Tim Hardaway, Patty Mills, they're all in play. They're going to see the minutes. Tim Hardaway's minutes are a little down, but we know he's instant offense. He can come in and he can get it going right away, and you can fall into a decent game for him. I don't have a problem with him or Patty Mills. I think Patty Mills is probably my favorite, though, just from the price. He's getting about the same minutes as those other guys, being Lonnie Walker and Tim Hardaway. So for me, I like Patty. He's a vet, knows how to score. Pop trusts him. At 4,000, I could possibly see myself getting to some Patty. And like I said, Vassell, we don't know what's going to happen with that, and the rest of these guys really aren't in play. Moving on to point guard, Dejante Murray. I was on the train when he was 66, 68 in the 7s. Been playing some good basketball, but now up at 8,500. I don't know if I can get there, but I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. It's not the greatest matchup for him, but I do not have a problem with him. But 8,500 is a little steep. Again, I keep pounding this into you guys because it drives me crazy, so I know you guys can relate. I never know what Popovich is going to do, especially if we get Derek White back. I just never know what he's going to do. I do feel like he'll get the minutes just to be out there. He's a good defender. Put him on Luka. So if you like Dejante, I don't mind going up to him. As we can see, he does have upside. Just for me, like I said, you got to pick your battles on this slate where you want to pay up. And for me, Dejante Murray isn't where I'm going. Jalen Brunson, 5,400. I love the price. Probably one of my favorite players on the slate. If Luka's in or out, Jalen Brunson is in play. They trust him. They like what he's doing over there. And he does it all. He's a good player, man. He can facilitate. He can score. Plays defense. Good defender for his size. And like I said, 5,400 is a great price tag for him. He's definitely in play if Luka's in or out. Trey Jones, no. Tyrell Terry, no. If you want to take a flyer on Trey Burke, I'm not mad at it. He got 21 minutes his last game, but before that, look at the minutes. So yeah, he'd definitely be a GPP play. For just what, 1,200 more, I see myself getting to Brunson before I touch Trey Burke. But again, if you're playing some GPPs, I have no problem with it. Like I said, here's my sample lineup right now. Sorry about that. Westbrook, Ja, Melton Brooks, Luka, J. Rich, Maxi Trey, and Robin Lopez. Probably the most uncomfortable pick for me is Robin Lopez, but I'm not paying up for center on this slate. Center is horrible for me on this slate. So if you don't feel comfortable with a position, you got one or two options. Pay up for the top guys. In our case, that's Joe Val. I don't trust the minutes. And that's Jakob Poeltl, who's getting a little bit too expensive for me over there with those Spurs. We never know what we're going to get. So for me, the option is pay down. Like I said, that's the most uncomfortable pick for me right now. And this is just a a pregame look for a couple days. We get some NBA back. Once again, please, all the comments, if you hate it, you love it, you don't like the vibe, whatever you have to say, I'm open for anything. I can take it. I want all the constructive criticism. It's not going to do anything but push me to do better. But with that being said, you know, don't go too hard on me. It's my first one, and ultimately all I'm trying to do is provide a little information for those that may be too busy to do so themselves, and just trying to give back. And I want everybody to win. You know, we're against Fanduel, we're against DraftKings. We all got to help each other out. You know, they don't care about us when we have these late scratches or issues. They give us problems with refunding us or anything like that. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's us against them. And if we can get the money from them, they're the machine, and we can aim to try to win, all of us. Like I said, thanks guys. Appreciate the support, good or bad. And hopefully this isn't my last video, and I look forward to maybe coming back and breaking down this slate a little bit more when we get closer to game day in 2 days, and maybe we get a little bit more news. Peace out.